Alright, my name is Gus, and I have a YouTube channel, One Hand Gus, and if the title of this video has not already suggested or implied that I'm a one-hand typer, I can type with my right hand at a elite level, dexterity-wise, and but aside from that, I have some questions here. Answer your questions. Let's see here. Okay, so this one says, okay Gus, we need the T. What do you actually average one-handed? Are you really faster than most people using two? Okay, so the average for most human beings is between 40 and 50 WPM, two-handed. So what I actually average one-handed with my right hand, that would be between 50 WPM for 10 words to 70 at maximum. Of course, for 5 words, a lot faster, averaging over 80 WPM, and then for 5 words maximum, 100 WPM thus far. Okay, second question. Let's go. Wait, why only the right hand? Is your left hand just as fast, or is the right one your specialist hand? So, excellent question. My right hand is the one that I train the most frequently, although I do train my left hand about 25% of the time. So my right hand is way faster. FYI, it can type maximum 100 WPM for a 5-word period, so less than 5 seconds, and then it can type mid-80s for 15 seconds. So definitely right hand over left hand, but I can type with both. So I'm either ambidextrous, or it could be cross dominance, and that's a term. So how frequently do I train? This question says, how much do you actually practice? Like, are you on your laptop all day or what? So I don't sit here and train for like 4 hours a day. I actually only train 30 minutes to an hour a day, and then on weekends even less. I will train for only 12 minutes. On weekends I will train, do like 4 minutes at 50 WPM. A threshold pace, which is a pace that it's hard to maintain, but that I can sustain it. So that is what I do personally, and that way I don't injure myself unnecessarily. What does a Gus workout even look like? Is there a secret method to getting that crazy hand blur? So, to answer this question, to move my hands, to make it appear like a blur, like the blink of an eye, I would say that just memorizing the different sequences, where certain words are. So, for example, for against, I would learn to use my pointer finger and then index likely to just do that sequence quickly. Just learn what words are hard for you to execute and then just memorize the pattern. It will help with your success in the future. Just repeat it. I do 10 times hard words. That way I don't forget. So I would say that the secret method is quality over quantity. So train for only 30 minutes to an hour. And I would say if you want to focus on specific words, an extra 30 minutes just repeating those sequences will be very beneficial, especially since as you reach 80 to 90 WPM, reliance on looking down at the keyboard is actually a bad habit that you want to try to break by increasing your threshold pace so that it's within, I would say, 25% of your max. So like as you increase your threshold pace, so if your threshold pace is 30 WPM, increasing that to 35 will, by doing duration-based training and also having better spatial awareness with your hand, just developing that muscle memory in your hand so you don't have to look down is my best advice to having your hand look like a blur of movement. Although if you do slow it down with slow motion video, my fingers do move. You can see all the keys be pressed, so it's not magic. It's definitely whenever I beat a personal best or go relatively quick, I definitely thank Jesus, source of strength, and I just ask Jesus to give me concentration to get through the training, the next next repetition. That's my source of strength. Then that's what I suggest, but build that muscle memory as well. So next question 5. If I wanted to get as fast as you, what's the first thing? What's the first steps? What's the first thing I should do? Is there a hack for getting faster? So I would say that definitely do not build bad habits. Like if you keep messing up on a certain sequence, don't try to quickly execute that sequence. I would say look at your hand and execute that sequence. Notice the difference of doing it 100 times over to see how much easier you're able to adapt and execute that sequence if you do it over and over again. So definitely not doing too much volume, which can actually hinder your progress. That's my hack to going as fast as you can with one hand. So that's my hack to getting faster. So this question is asking about world records. So are you officially going for a world record? Like, are we going to see the one-hand Gus in the Guinness Book soon? That is an excellent question from that person. I would say that, am I currently going for that world record? For a world record, I would say that, so currently I am trying to get the quickest 5-word one-hand time ever recorded, and also 10-word one-hand time ever recorded. That is the goal, and relying on Jesus. As we've seen some of my other videos, I put locking in loving Jesus in the at the end of certain shorts, and it works out very well relying on Jesus, especially while trying to break certain barriers. Like, for example, the most recent barrier that I broke was going over 100 WPM for, or over 99 WPM for 5 words, which was definitely quick compared to previous attempts of mine, but always areas for improvement. Since you won't always get a lucky sequence, so it's always important to know how to do the hard sequences so that you're ready beforehand. So you may see me in the Guinness Book if I go for an official world record, but again, those take time, especially to establish new records, but the goal is to break 2 of those world records. I will see how, obviously on the channel, the main channel, you can track the progress to see how it goes, or how long it takes me. But new records are coming, with Jesus' provision, or Jesus' guidance. Recovery. So God's guidance as well. So, so I do use ice. This comment says, do you use ice? Does typing that fast literally set your hand on fire? So that's referring to the inflammation in the tendons right here. Why do you need to ice? So obviously, typing fast, there can be a price. Of course, if you don't have proper form, make sure that your wrists are in a bad position. Since if you're doing this regularly, every day, over time, it's going to build stress, and stress can lead to unwanted injuries. So definitely figure out how to properly support your hand. Don't leave it laying on the keyboard. Don't do that bad habit. So the reason I ice is to reduce any inflammation post-training, so that I don't have any problems, and it works out by reducing any micro inflammation in the tendons in my hand before any preventable injuries occur. So that is why I think you need to ice. If you are doing this regularly, I don't think it will hurt. I tend to even submerge my hand or hands in water with ice in it, in a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag. You've talked about almost passing your personal best. How do you even keep going when it feels like it's really hard? So it feels like it's really hard whenever the record is within grasp, but I'm barely I'm not able to go fast enough. At certain times, for certain records, it will feel like my hand remembers sequences, but it just isn't responding correctly as quick as I want it to. So definitely relying on Jesus and being like, okay, well, my hand is a little tight today, or maybe today's not the day, but on the counter, on the other side of things, often when I do get a record, it's because or beat a personal best. When I beat a personal record of mine, it's often unexpected, but not out of the question, because I use the training to put me in a position where where it's a possibility. Obviously, if I never trained, certain records or times wouldn't be possible. So I always try to put yourself in a position where the record is attainable, but that doesn't mean that it's readily attainable. But trust in Jesus, and my faith in God is what gets me through the hardest record attempts, or during really hard training sets. Okay. Is it true your autism gives you a hyper-focused superpower? How does that spatial map in your head even work? Okay, so to explain it to you, on a standard keyboard, you have a left and a right side, and you have the home row. So basically, what I'm able to do is I'm able to visualize in my head really quickly the position of certain keys. So like when I think of the word 3, I don't even have to, like, I can visualize where I need to put my hand. So I don't even have to think. It's just intuitive. So it's just a matter of remembering where the sequence is, and then executing as fast as possible. That's where I think that's a superpower, I would say. What do you call it? Spidey sense. For any of you, like middle school, early, like that's the best way I would explain it. Like, just once you see a word, just execute as fast as possible. Just because of the hyperfocus allows me to remember sequences faster than likely the average person. Okay. The secret is out. You're a Christian. Why is it so important for you to use your speed to talk about Jesus? Okay, so I think there's a difference between glorifying God for accomplishments and then glorifying God during failure. So whenever I use the platform that I have, and the ability to spread, to use content to A, brighten someone's day, and B, show them that if you dedicate yourself by relying on God, I'm able to have that focus and keep the relentless drive to pursue goals. But honestly, it's God is the is what is the only thing that fuels the the drive and the ambition. Excuse me. Without reliance on God, I wouldn't be able. It's like gasoline in a vehicle. You can't get anywhere. There won't be any momentum or progress towards goals unless I rely on God as a source of strength. So I would say that it's important for me to use my the talent or like gift of moving my hand quite quickly. To talk about Jesus, I would say I use the speed of my hand to communicate the need for Jesus. The speed to communicate the need. And that's all I have to say. And God bless. And let's go break some world records.